Occam's train station. On my way to Dusseldorf, and the train arrives at 13:22 or 1:22 p.m. and it's a direct train to Dusseldorf. So I'll talk to you later from Dusseldorf. There goes one of the trains right there. Here I'm in Occam's train station, and the train I'm going to be riding on is the Rhine-Ruhr Express. Well, here I am. I'm on the train to Dusseldorf. I got on it, and in about 20 minutes we're going to be pulling out. And was standing there looking at the train, and this gentleman came by and says, "Can I help you?" And it happened to be the engineer, because they're switching. And he said, "Yes, this is the train, come on." And so I got on with him. So at least I know I'm going to the right place this time. And it's not canceled. So in Germany, train system is very efficient. If they say it's going to leave at 13:22, it will leave at 13:22. Talk to you later. Well, here we are. I said, well, I'm going to take a few minutes to show everybody about the train a little bit and everything. So I'm in the handicap section. That's why you see one chair. Most of them are up this way. You'll see they're mostly double. And as you can see, it's very clean. Well, the interesting thing is watch just the water closet. It's very basic. But anyway, next time I talk to you, I will be in Dusseldorf. Well, here I am in Dusseldorf. I'm on my way to the Old Town area of Dusseldorf, but I just got off the subway, and the public transportation here in Dusseldorf is all free. But I know you're never too far from America, or what our influence is. When you come down the street, there's a Burger King and a KFC, and I'm pretty sure there's a McDonald's somewhere. So anyway, off to Old Town in Dusseldorf. As I said, we're here in Dusseldorf, and there's Kentucky Fried Chicken. Look at the beautiful building that it's in. All right, off to Old Town. It's a start of Old Town, I guess. Here's the church. You look across the street behind it. It's a beautiful building. So as we're walking through parts of Old Town, see there's a lot of, and it's only about 11:30 or so it hadn't even started coming out with the people coming off of work and everything to get. But you can see some of the way they have it. It's all pedestrian only. Side streets, see all the way down. This is a statue in the Old Town area, the town hall behind us, but this is trying to get the translation right. John Wilhelm was the founder of Dusseldorf, and he developed it. See the EU flag. Then you see the provenance of where we are. Flag. It's the Rojas. And there's the royal coat of arms. And you can hear the bells going off, signifying that this noon. Pretty interesting. So it's noon here in Dusseldorf, so going towards the sound of the music. It's coming from the cathedral down. Oh, there's the bells ringing. Very cool. Those bells are actually moving. And it looks like the house next to it was built in 1632. And it just finished doing the bells and everything. Like I said, the house next to it was from 1632, so pretty cool. So right now I'm in Town Square, Old Town, in Dusseldorf. We just heard the bells playing in the background and everything earlier, and the video's there if you want to hear it and see it. But you can see that this is a statue of Johann Wilman. I believe that's the way you pronounce it, not sure, but anyway, he was the founder of Dusseldorf and developed this area very much so. So you see the red flags with the dragon on it holding an anchor. That's the symbol of the province that we're in Germany. And you can see way up here, there's that same emblem or symbol is what they use to raise the flag and lower the flag every day at the end of the day. So there's a better picture, a statue of him, and another shot of the town hall. One interesting thing I found about the German towns, it's a little bit different out there. Most of them have a town center that everything is, lack of a better word, centered around. So this is one of the side alleys, and what you see up here, you see some of the characters and stuff, and some more flags of various things, advertising and stuff. But right over there is where the river is, and that's where we're going next. So we'll see you at the river. Found this on the side of a building that I was just walking through, and basically, loose translation, this is an improvement committee member who helped develop this area and improve it over time. So it's kind of scary, really. So this is what they call the Dusseldorf's promenade. You can see the church or the Dom. Look across, you see the bridge. This is some of the bridges that were destroyed. So when the 97th Infantry Division was told to destroy the Ruhr pocket, you heard me make reference to the left bank or the left side, and that was the left side. And you can see there are more bridges, and they're probably not the same bridges, but in the original location. You can see how modern it looks now. They're Sky Needle or whatever they want to call it. The old church may have been there or not. But as you can see, I'm pretty damn sure that they weren't doing this when Dad and the 97th Infantry Division came to fought their way across the river. So you see how flat it is. See a man walking his dog and his child on the other side. It's very peaceful. And it wasn't like that over 77 years ago, I promise you. So anyway, that's where we are right now, in the promenade area of Dusseldorf, and that's the Rhine River. I was telling you earlier, when I was in France, I lost a lot of weight because I ate a lot of fish and sea bass and stuff. And you see this gentleman's meal, that's what I've been eating. So I'm gaining my weight back now. So the question is, was Dusseldorf always directly on the Rhine? You have to imagine looking through here, this promenade, that 55,000 motor vehicles drove directly along the Rhine every day until someone came up with the idea that says, okay, we're going to bring the city back to the Rhine. It was a once-in-a-line project, and in 1995 it was possible to stroll along the Rhine embankment promenade. You see the wavy tiles? It goes for almost 2 kilometers. And it's a nod to the Rhine proximity to the Rhine River. It used to be a small fishing village back in the day, and then they developed it like everything else. And you see the black tower? Let me zoom in a little bit. That's called the Twisted Tower. It's actually twisted. Just above the clock, you can see how it's twisting. So you may not be able to see it, but just below the bridge, why are there sheep in the middle of the city? And when I was walking through, I saw it, I said, those look like sheep. I said, there's no way. But what I understand is that from springtime to autumn, the Rhine meadows on the riverbanks belong to the sheep. They and their shepherd stands for the deceleration in the heart of the city. The sheep patiently munch the grass, and they are an intimate part. Look right where that ship is passing through, the white of the back of the ship. I saw that earlier and said, wait a minute, that looks like sheep. Well, come to find out, why are there sheep in the middle of the city? Well, from springtime to autumn, the Rhine meadows on the riverbank belong to the sheep. They and their shepherds stand for remembrance of the old days, and they're in the heart of the city. The sheep patiently munch the grass, and they are a part of the Dusseldorf cityscapes. Here's a little known fact that these flocks of sheep do an important job. They ensure the grass is kept short. Otherwise, the city would have to pay to have people go out and clean everything up and mow it all the time. So they're using the sheep to help keep the city looking nice. Earlier today I was showing you the statue of the gentleman in the center of town, near the town hall. It's Jan Wilhelm is how the people in Dusseldorf remembered him, and he was there from 1668 to 1717. Earlier today I was showing you the statue of the gentleman in the center of town, near the town hall. It's Jan Wilhelm is how the people in Dusseldorf remembered him, and he was there from 1668 to 1717. When I started my tour today, I was showing you where the statue of the gentleman on the horse is pronounced Jan Wilhelm. That's the way the people of Dusseldorf remember him as, and he was the protector or developer or the official person here from 1668 to 1716, and that was where he was holding up residency at the town hall. Well, you know, the Rhine River is very important in moving all kind of cargo and everything, but I've never seen a vehicle sitting on the top of one of these little barges going through, so I guess you got to do what you got to do here. You can see this little dome-shaped tower. That's all that's left of the Dusseldorf Palace from where it went up in flames in 1872. So we're going to take a trip over there and see a little bit of the history. And once again, you can see the twisted tower, church tower in the background. So here we are, like I was saying earlier about, this is the northern end of the Dusseldorf Palace, which went up in flames in 1872. Now it's the home of a maritime museum and a restaurant. And looking out from the cupola up at the top, you have a very good view of the old town, as well as what they call the Rhine Tower, which is what we looked at earlier. It looks like the Space Needle from Seattle. So the other one, the one in the back, is the church that was built in the 13th century, and it's in the Lower Rhine brick Gothic style, and it's the oldest in the city. The patron saint of the city, his remains are kept there in a precious shrine, and you can see how it's twisted. It's weird. It's beautiful. So just show you a quick thing. That's the Rhine Tower, the Rhine River, the promenade that we just walked down and looked at, buildings that you see, and of course again the regional flag, square, and you can see these circles. Well, those circles were put there due to when they had events here and everything, that people had to stay in that area with their families and keep the distance. So a little leftover pandemic stuff. Here's the entrance of the church, the oldest in the city, 1300. And it's very interesting. I've never seen one that had all three of the individuals there together on the cross. So we're inside the church, St. Joseph's. And like I said, this church was in the 1300s. It's beautiful. So right now I'm in Kaiserwerth, which is a northern district in the much older part of Dusseldorf. It's a contrast to the modern city that we just left. The center of the town is 17th century houses and the imposing ruins of the former imperial. Right now I've traveled north of Dusseldorf, but I'm still in part of the Dusseldorf area. I'm in the historic center of the town of Kaiserwerth. So I've traveled in the northern district of a much older section of Dusseldorf. The historic center of the town with its 17th century houses and imposing ruins of the former imperial palace, the Kaiserhof, are the perfect setting for a relaxed stroll. I know I messed that word up, but what you see in front of you is very interesting. It's left over from World War II. It was a huge bunker that was built here, and they couldn't destroy it. It cost too much, so they renovated it and made it into apartment buildings. So this thing is huge and well built and didn't go to waste. Oh my God. Julia Roberts. Here in the middle of an old district in Dusseldorf. Here's a closer view of what I was telling you with the World War II bunker that they renovated and made it into housing. So you can see that it's very imposing, very dominates the area. So you can see I'm moving closer to the river. You can see way down by the red car. That's where the river's located, but this is the area that we were talking about. Had all the 17th century houses that are still standing. They were probably just renovated to look back the way they were, but the original foundation probably still counts them as being from that earlier age. I know if I was in the 97th Infantry Division coming to this area and I had to see that monster sitting back behind me, it would be very difficult to understand what we were up against and how we're going to do some damage to that thing. So it's very huge, and it would have been a hard task for a modern army of today. So here's the town hall for this part of Dusseldorf. So here's another house, 1635. And I'm being told that the grayish stuff that you see is because that's where shells impacted and they made changes and improved to keep it and put it all back together. So once again, you can see all the river traffic on the Rhine. More barges are out. You can see them, they just keep coming. So where we're going next is the Kaiser's Palace. And we'll take a few moments there to look at some of the things. Here's some of the old ruins. And these were already here before World War II, so it's not like they put them in. But anyway, barge traffic is picking up. The ferry's going across to the left bank. So you might want to ask why Dusseldorf had an imperial palace in the first place. Well, in the Middle Ages, rulers reigned not from a capital city, but from their saddles. This is why they needed spacious accommodation for themselves and their entourage as they constantly traveled around. In 1174, Emperor Frederick I, known as Barbarossa, heard that name before. That's the code word that Hitler used in order to attack Russia. So that's where Barbarossa came from. Okay. He ordered that the Rhine toll station be moved to Kaiserwerf and had the Kaiser Palace built shortly afterwards. It's surrounded by 4-meter thick walls. The ruins that stand here today bear witness to the eventful history of the palace, which was stormed and rebuilt several times. Now I want to go back to this memorial here. It's just like we have in the United States, where this is a memorial to the individuals that died between 1939 and 1945 who came from this village area. So that's what this is. So here's another area shot of the Kaiser Palace that Frederick I built. You can see how thick those walls are. 4 meters is 12 feet, so it's huge. That's one thing I see a lot of people biking. A lot of them bike from Dusseldorf, the town center, all the way out here and all the way up and down the Rhine. So it's pretty interesting. Hey, look, it's bony. Look at it. So you may not be able to see this too well, but that's what it looked like. And that's what it looks like today.